Let me ask you something real. Have you ever looked at your life and thought, I should be further by now? You tried. You gave your all. And still, things fell apart. Your business failed. Your GPA dropped. You got ghosted after giving someone your whole heart. And now it's quiet. Just you and that voice in your head saying, you failed. But what if I told you that maybe you're not failing? Maybe you're just learning in the hardest, most human way possible. This video is for the ones who are sitting in the rubble of what didn't work, who scroll through Instagram and feel like everyone else is sprinting ahead, who cry not because they're weak, but because they care so much and it still didn't work. Here's what you'll walk away with: a shift in how you see failure, not as the opposite of success, but as the very path to it. We'll talk about growth mindset, productive failure, and how pain, when processed right, becomes progress. By the end, I hope you'll realize you're not broken, you're becoming. Let's start with the part no one wants to say out loud. Sometimes learning looks a lot like losing. I remember sitting on the floor of my room after my biggest rejection. It was a dream job. I went through 5 rounds. I told my parents, my friends. I even let myself get excited. Then came the email. A short, templated, "We regret to inform you." It wasn't just a no. It felt like I was the no. Not enough. Not smart enough. Not chosen. And worse, I started to believe it. That's the thing about failure. It starts breaking your identity. You stop saying, I failed. You start saying, I am a failure. And if you're watching this, maybe you've been there too. Maybe you studied for months and still failed the exam. Maybe your startup went viral for a day and then disappeared. Maybe you poured your heart into someone and they still left. And now you're left wondering, what's the point of trying if it ends like this? But here's the part you need to hear. Every person who's ever done something great has sat in this exact place. They just didn't unpack and live there. Let's get into what most people miss. Failure isn't just a dead end, it's data, it's a map. Psychologists call it productive failure. The idea that making mistakes early in the learning process can actually lead to deeper understanding and long-term success. In other words, struggle is part of the system, not a sign to quit. Carol Dweck, the Stanford psychologist who pioneered the growth mindset, puts it like this: becoming is better than being. The people who grow are not the ones who never fall. They're the ones who know how to stand back up differently. But this only works if you shift the question. Not, why did I fail? But what did this failure reveal that I needed to learn? Let me give you an analogy. Imagine your journey like walking a foggy trail. Every step you take, you think you're going the right way. Then, boom, you hit a dead end. It hurts. You curse yourself for being stupid. But if you zoom out, that wrong turn was the only way to see the cliff up ahead, to realize you were on the wrong path. And now you know better. You didn't fail, you learned through contact. As author James Clear wrote, every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. And sometimes your biggest failure casts the most honest vote. It says, I care enough to try. I risk enough to hurt. I'm not done. Because the only people who never fail are the ones too scared to start. You didn't fail, you grew, just in a way that hurt. So how do we turn this from philosophy into something you can use today? Here are 3 mindset shifts that helped me stop treating failure like a finish line. 1. Rename it. From failure to feedback. Every time something doesn't go the way you hoped, ask, what is this trying to teach me? Write it down, literally. Failed the exam. Learn how I study best under pressure. Got ghosted. Learn what kind of communication I value and deserve. Feedback reframes failure from I lost to I learned. 2. Zoom out your timeline. Failure feels huge because you're zoomed in too close. What if this one moment is just one chapter in your long, beautiful story? Think of your heroes. Kobe Bryant, J.K. Rowling, Steve Jobs. All had painful public failures. But with time, those chapters became pivots, not full stops. When things go wrong, remind yourself, this isn't the end. It's just the messy middle. 3. Track progress backward, not just forward. We often measure success by how far we still have to go. Try this instead. Look back. Ask yourself, what's something I've survived that I once thought would break me? That's evidence, not of perfection, but of resilience. You're stronger than you think, but only if you remember to see it. Every failure you're facing now can become a lesson, a story, a step forward, if you let it. Not every pain has a silver lining right away, but every pain has a direction, and that direction is growth. You are not your mistakes. You are the you that got back up after them. You are the version of yourself that stayed kind even when the world wasn't, that tried again when no one was watching, that learned even while it hurt. One day someone's going to ask how you became so wise, and you'll smile and say, because I failed, and I kept going anyway. So if you're in the middle of it, if it's still fresh, if it still stings, let yourself grieve. But then, let yourself grow. Because here's the truth. You're not behind. You're just in the part of the story where it hurts before it makes sense. This isn't the end. It's just a scene change. And yes, it hurts now. But every seed breaks before it blooms. Every hero cries before the turning point. Every masterpiece has a mess in the middle. So don't quit here. What if this failure is the moment that teaches you who you really are? You're not lost. You're learning. And that, my friend, is the bravest thing you can do. Take a moment. Really, put your hand over your heart. Feel that? That's proof. You're still here, still trying, still growing. In the comments, I want you to finish this sentence. I thought I failed when, but now I'm learning. S. But now I'm learning. What's so amazing? Put your hand over your heart. Feel that? That's proof. You're still here, still trying, still growing. In the comments, I want you to finish this sentence. I thought I failed when, but now I'm learning. What's so amazing? S. But now I'm learning. What's so amazing?